spend more time on our own back deck, in our own backyard, or we've got a little bit of free time. So what we're doing are projects around the house that make us feel good about accomplishing something. Well, a paintbrush and a roller, they haven't really changed in more than 60 years. Professionals use sprayers. This is the #1 brand name in paint sprayers in America, and not just for contractors and professionals, but do-it-yourselfers, homeowners, and DIY guys and gals. This is their newest version. It is the FLEXiO 2000. I've had the pleasure of presenting it several times. I do not own this particular piece of equipment. I've got the model that came out 2 years ago. And in just those 2 years, they have made some even greater changes on it. The whole system is so easy to switch over. You're getting not one, but 2 different paint containers and 2 different sprayers. This is the 44 ounce, which is the go-to do-all that allows you to adjust how wide that fan spray is, from nice and wide to a thinner spray. You then pour your latex paint in without having to thin it, and that's important. It used to be, even the professionals, especially the professionals knew this, you used to always have to thin the paint to be able to get an accurate spray. With this, I can change the spray pattern from vertical to horizontal just by simply switching the mechanism like that. That 44 ounce is the one you'll use the most often. It's the one that comes standard equipment with the new FLEXiO 2000. This container is a bonus add-on that we have been able to include. That's the 27 ounce finish sprayer, so that you can get fine detail work. Think of it this way. If you're going to paint a room, usually you would start with the paintbrush and do what's called cutting out, around the windows, around the doors, and a lot of taping. Well, this becomes your tape, because you now have a big Wagner edge guide. This is your paintbrush. This is the new modern roller. And when you put it all together, it is a gun that is so easy to work with that anybody can do it. Already I've got an update. This is new this month, and we started with 19,000 pieces. We are already down to about 6,000 that are remaining. I want to go off to my phone lines again, and I want to introduce you to Jason Cameron, who is a professional contractor. Jason, good morning to you. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good, buddy. Dan, good to be with you.
You and I both have had an opportunity to play with this, work with it. It is probably one of the easiest sprayers that I've ever had a chance to play around with. And if you've got even one do-it-yourself project coming up, this is a tool that I would recommend. You're a pro and have used it industrially. You could paint a whole house with this thing if you wanted to.
You could, and Dan, you really hit it on the head. I think what people need to realize about this sprayer is Wagner really designed this for the beginner. They really designed it for the ease of use and to put the paint exactly where you want it. So no matter what your experience level is, you can pick this up. I've put this in people's hands who've never spray painted before, and they were amazed at how quickly they were able to adapt to it and how easy it was to use. So it was designed for the beginner.
All right, I don't have a 6-panel door here, but that's my favorite demonstration. Because painting a 6-panel door, you know this with a paintbrush, is a royal pain. I've got a wicker chest here that painting that with a brush would take forever, but I can paint it with the Wagner. Here's the on-off switch right here. I can paint it with the Wagner quickly, simply, and easily. And I could never get into all that detail work if I was dealing, and I'm only going to do half of it, Jason. I could never get this type of detail with a brush, even in 3 or 4 or 5 times that amount of time.
No, you're absolutely right. The brush would be a nightmare, but this shows the flexibility and the precision of the FLEXiO and why it's so important, because it puts the paint where you want it with very low overspray, which is a huge deal. And with wicker, it's a great example of how one pass, Dan, and you were done, and you were ready to move on.
Finished. Now, we still have drop claws down. You're still going to put up plastic.
Sure.
We've got some videotape that I know that you shot on your location that I want people to see, and then we'll come back live in the studio. All right?
Okay. Yep.
Take a look.
FLEXiO 2000 Plus sprayer. I use this all the time. It's my go-to sprayer, whether I'm indoors, outdoors, big projects, small projects. And if you're somebody that's never sprayed before, this is the product for you, because this was designed for the beginner to pick up and start painting spraying like a professional. So let's go over some of the features. Right now, I've got the eye spray nozzle on here. So this is the turbine. You can see it's handheld. It's very easy. It's very light. One hand or two hands you can use to support it. This is the eye spray nozzle. This is the switch on the side for the power. You can turn it on and off, and it's on both sides, as you can see, so very easy to get to. On top, you've got another lever here. This is the power control lever. So there's two settings, a high and a low. You've got a material flow dial right here. So this controls the amount of paint being released. Up top, you've got a lever here that controls the width of the spray. So you go from wide spray to narrow spray, very simple. And you can also control the direction of the spray. So vertical spray to horizontal spray, depending on which way you're spraying. So very simple to operate. That's the thing Wagner did really well with this machine. They made it very easy. Now, the eye spray nozzle, which is what I have on here, holds 1.5 quart of paint. Now that can be oil-based, water-based, stain, lacquer, sealer, all of that works. And you can put the paint in here unthinned. That's a big deal because it's a big time saver. You're not thinning paint. Put it right in here and start spraying. And 1.5 quart will do about a 10 by 10 wall before you actually have to refill, which is pretty good. So to remove the eye spray nozzle, there's a lever right here with the thumb. You just press down. That's called the lock and go system. And I can pick up the detail nozzle, which is the other nozzle you get, and that goes right on there just like that. That's how simple it is to change from one to another. Now I got the detail nozzle on here, and I can do detail projects very easily with this. And you also get the spray shield. Now I use this a lot too if I'm going around moldings or crown molding, windows, corners, and you can use this to actually control the paint. So you get everything you want. Even if you're a beginner, you can pick this up, save a lot of time, and start spraying like a pro.
Jason, and professional results are what we're all looking for, but to be able to do it ourselves and save money and time is also an answer. Real quick, that price is going away at the end of this weekend. When we reach our end of business on Sunday, the price is going away. I got about a minute. You think I could paint a wall in a minute's time, Jason?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt you can do that.
All right, now again, nice even spray. And I'm gonna start in the middle so that people can see that spray. I've got it set up so that the spray pattern is flat. So I just want to keep my hands, my arms straight, and you'll use your knees. But this is faster than a roller. There's no drip tray to have to worry about. You don't have any runs, and you don't have what you professional painters refer to as holidays, which are gaps that you don't normally cover. And that works equally as well on ceilings as it does on walls. That's a finished project. I am still so impressed with this machine. I'm glad you introduced it to me, Jason.
Absolutely, I'm glad I did too. You've gotten a lot done, but that's a great example, the wall. Spraying that with the FLEXiO, because that's where it really shines. A one-coat coverage. You didn't have to come back. You one pass. You did a really good job with the speed, holding it 6 inches away from the wall, and you got that done in no time. And that's the beauty of it, because you can get jobs done so quickly. Yep. And you look like you're having fun doing it, and I don't see any paint on you, by the way, which is great, because if you were rolling that wall, I guarantee you'd be splattered.
You'd see it on my forehead, my head. I'd be a blue Smurf. Yeah. Yes. Now, again, I wouldn't normally paint in this, and if I was going to do projects, which I have, again, I've got the 2-year-old model of this. Last summer, I did my entire barn, my deck, and a back barn, all in one afternoon, where if I had done it with a roller and a paintbrush, it would have taken me literally weekends and weekends of work. I am the biggest fan of this piece of equipment. We started with 1,800 of these. We have we started with 18,000 of them. We have 5,800 of them remaining, and that's it. If you've got one project that requires painting, this is the piece of equipment to invest in. We've got it for less than $100. The cleanup is remarkably simple. Jason, thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to give us a phone call as we continue with our outdoor adventures. Thank you.
Hey, Dan, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Be well.
Yep.
If you missed the presentation of our today's special value earlier, well, let me show it to you again, because it has been remarkably popular. Over 11,000 QVC customers have picked up their new